Hi everyone, welcome back to Cooking Club. We are going to get started on this week's recipe, and we are making apple spice muffins, and this is a 3-ingredient recipe. So you will need a muffin tin lined with 12 cupcake liners, or you can spray it really well with a nonstick spray. You'll need a large mixing bowl. Come over here a little bit. You're going to use 1 apple, 1 package of spice cake mix, and then we're going to use 2 cups of applesauce. What I sent home to you was 4 of these 4-ounce cups, so 4 times 4 is 16 ounces, and that's 2 cups total. 1 cup is 8 ounces, so that would be 2 of these. And then you'll need some toothpicks because we're going to do the toothpick test. You'll need a knife and then something to cut on. And the last thing you'll need is to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. So our first step is going to be to pour in the muffin mix. I'll get this out of our way. Then I'm going to trade spots with our apple cutting board. And when we're cutting this apple, I like to just go right down the middle. And you can get the help of an adult in your household if you need. The other thing that I really recommend is to wash your apple really, really well. Apples tend to be kind of a dirtier fruit, so definitely make sure you give it a good washing. And then what we're gonna do now is cut it into quarters. So now we've got 4 pieces, 4 quarters. And then this is the part where you can go one of 2 ways. If you use something like an apple slicer to start, great, the core has already been taken out of the middle. If not, we're just gonna cut the middle part out because that takes away the seeds and kind of that like part in the middle that is a little crunchy and weird. So I'm gonna do that to all of my pieces. Make sure my apple seeds stay off to the side. Again, be very careful when we're doing this. If you need the help of the adults in your household, now would be the time to go get them. Okay, so the next step is dicing the apple. I'm gonna take our fourths. We've got 4 quarters here, and we're gonna turn them into 8ths. We're gonna cut them into a half. So quarters getting cut into half. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So we've now turned our apple into 8ths. And you could cut again this way, or you can go this way. I'm gonna go this way because it's gonna make our diced little cubes smaller. Another thing to note is that you definitely can peel your apple first. I like to leave the skin on the apple simply because, you know, assuming you wash your apple really well, the skin on the apple gives you a little bit of extra fiber and nutrients. That's where all the good stuff from the apples come from as far as vitamins and fiber and all that good stuff goes. So, again, be very careful when you're doing this part. I like this recipe because it's just those 3 simple ingredients. We're using the cake mix, which already has the, it's called a leavening agent, which is like baking soda, baking powder, things that help it rise. So we don't have to, whereas if we were making it from scratch, we would have to add those things, but with the cake mix, it's already in there. So this is a really nice, quick recipe for if you need a little snack to make up quick for something in the fall. Right, so now I'm just gonna go through and make sure all my apple pieces are spread apart. If you have any really, really big chunks, you'll want to break them apart if possible. So like, see that one's kind of big. Go ahead and cut that one in half. And then if you see any other larger ones, go ahead and take care of those. Since these are muffins, it's easier to have little bite-sized pieces and truly have a diced apple rather than larger chunks. All right, so I'm feeling good about what I have here. I do want to keep the core separate from what I cut up over here. Rinse my hands really quick. And then our next step, trade these out again, is to open all of the applesauces, all 4 of them, or if you are using it from a like a larger applesauce container, you want to measure out 2 cups. This wrapper does not want to come up. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just start to slowly mix my applesauce with my spice cake. Careful when you're mixing. If you do it a little too vigorously, the cake mix is just going to poof out of the bowl and make a mess everywhere. Not to say that that won't happen anyway on accident, but you can be a little bit careful when you're mixing, and that's less of a cleanup you have to do at the end. And really what we're looking for is to have all of the cake mix combined and no powder left. So as I'm scraping the bottom of my bowl, I'm checking. There still might be some when we go through, but overall I think I got the most of it. So now my next step, I'm going to scoop all my apple bits into my mixture. We're just gonna kind of fold it a few times, which means you just give it a little tossing like this. We don't want to stir it too much. When we're doing baking, we don't want to mix things too much because it changes the consistency of the recipe that we're going for. When you mix flour and things like that too much, it kind of makes it a little bit more dense, and we don't want that. We want our muffins to be nice and light and airy. All right, so our next step here, I want you to get a regular sized spoon, and we're actually just going to scoop into the muffin tins. When we're scooping, just start 1 scoop at a time and then plop right into there. And then we'll continue going as we go along and try to evenly distribute as much as we can across each little muffin section. They will rise a decent amount, but not a ton. So it's okay to, we're gonna fill them as full as we can, but this recipe makes 12 muffins with the full cake mix. And if you do happen to spill onto your tin, like what I did right there, you want to scoop that up before we pop it in the oven, because it is going to bake onto your muffin tin and get it all kind of crusty. I've got some edges on mine where you can see it's been baked on over the years. Another spot right there. I personally think this recipe can make a few extra, a few additional muffins than just the 12. But what we're going to do now is just go through and add in more mix and top off each of the little muffin tin holes. done here. And if you see that you do have some extra left in your bowl, just try and scoop out all those apple bits. That's the good stuff that we want in there. It's all good, but okay. So there's an example of where we don't want to leave anything crusted on there, so I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And then as we go to pop these in the oven, we are going to, looks like I missed a little spot. We are going to do 18 to 25 minutes. I like to go right in between. I'm anticipating that this will be roughly, you know, 20 to 23 minutes, but I'm always gonna start on the low end. So I'm gonna go with 18 minutes at first, and then if we need to up more time, then we will. So my oven is preheated to 350. So I'm gonna pop these in for 18 minutes. We'll pull them out, do a toothpick test, and then we will go from there to see if we need more baking time. So I will see you back here in 18 minutes. Okay, so here is after the 18 minutes that we spoke about. So I'm gonna pick one and go in the thickest part. That one came out pretty clean. Just try another one real quick. Let's pick this one over here. That one looks a little gooey to me. What I'm gonna do, just based on kind of the texture of what I'm seeing and that other toothpick pull here, I'm gonna go probably 3 more minutes for a total of 21. So I'm gonna pop them in for 3 more minutes and I will see you here shortly. Remember, everyone's oven is different, so yours might be done. Yours also might need more than 3 minutes, so we'll just keep monitoring. All right, here's about 3 more minutes. So I'm gonna check this one that was still a little questionable a couple minutes ago. That is a very clean toothpick. So I would say success here for me. So that was about 21-ish minutes as far as what my muffins needed in my particular oven. As I've said in our videos in the last couple of years, everyone's oven is a little bit different, so some might get done sooner, some might need a little bit more time, but I do hope you enjoy this recipe. Please let me know if you did any additions or anything different to it to kind of jazz it up a little, but it is a really easy, quick recipe if you need a nice fall apple recipe, because a lot of things are pumpkin, and I wanted to try out an apple one with you. So I will see everyone next week, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.